Greetings. I am your host, Glen Alex, and this is The Glen Alex Show, the 2023 Positive Change Podcast Award winner. Each episode of The Glen Alex Show focuses on a different aspect of health because I believe in total health. You're a whole, and all of you matter. And I am on a mission to help you be joyful, connected, confident, and complete. The life experience I call Wellth, Wellth, which is health plus other riches. Please let that sink in because those who are wealthy, i.e., living in total health or pursuing living in total health, do not need to oppress, control, abuse, or demean another human being. So please join us on this journey so we can make the world safe and loving for everyone. For more information on my work, please visit glenalex.com and stay tuned for this very impactful episode on gratitude. Please help me welcome my guest, Lindsay Karnick. Lindsay Karnick is the founder and owner of Onward Psychological Services, serving adult individuals and couples who want to change their lives. Lindsay's niche is working with humans who are doing their best to cope with the challenges of being human, who sense that the storyline they're living out isn't the one they want. I love that. Welcome to the Glen Alex Show, Lindsay.
Thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be here. It's a pleasure.
You are welcome. Thank you so much for making time for this, I think, really important episode on gratitude. Let's start with what does gratitude mean to you?
To me, gratitude means a state of awareness.
Okay.
It's an intentional state that we can opt in or out of. And most importantly, to me, it's a very broad state. Sometimes I think gratitude is construed to be understood as focusing exclusively on things that are sort of good or positive or going well. And I think one of the things that makes gratitude really powerful is our ability to hold those things in one hand and also simultaneously hold in the other hand the things that are not so sweet or are hard or difficult. And so for me, gratitude includes a state of total awareness, because that total awareness is what gives those things that are meaningful to you their meaning. Sort of without the contrast, they become less profound.
Okay, that's really interesting because my work is about the whole person,
Mm.
physical, mental, emotional, and the spiritual. And what I just heard you say is gratitude is about accepting your wholeness, all of it.
Absolutely. It's about wholeness to me.
Okay.
Jung spoke years ago, and people continue to be interested in this writing and this thinking about the shadow self. Yes. And
Yes.
so much of our literature, right, our sort of really global literature is attempting to deal with how humans respond to having another half and what it means to be whole. And folks point to some very concrete visual examples of this. When you think of the symbol of the yin yang that has
Yes.
sort of the half is black and the half is white with the two
Yes.
circles, right? The one doesn't exist without the other. They each
Absolutely.
give the other part meaning as well as shape. And without the other half, the shape is not the same at all. And so I think that gratitude is very similar, as you point to, in sensing a wholeness, not a selectiveness.
I I really, really love that. Thank you. That resonates with me very much.
Hmm.
Thank you. So if gratitude is about accepting your wholeness and all of the parts, the good and the bad and the in between, why is expressing gratitude important?
Well, for starters, I think that the expression of gratitude, and that could mean a couple of different things, right? I
Right?
suppose, in one sense, expressing gratitude means, do you say out loud to people, thank you? Or do you say out loud in some setting, I am grateful for? Does it mean that you spend some time thinking intentionally about your state of gratitude and what that means to you? That's also an expression. It doesn't have to be
Yes,
verbal out
yes.
loud, right? And also, are there other acts of gratitude that are not about even verbal, silent, or articulated, sort of spoken gratitude, but is it an act of gratitude to spend a day that you have a day off doing something for someone else? Yes, is that an act of gratitude, which may or may not be articulated as such, but is in its essence and its meaning very much an expression of gratitude? And one of many reasons I think that expressing that gratitude, however it is someone does that at different times in their life or during their day, it's probably a moving target over time, situationally, how people express gratitude, right, based
Yes,
on conditions,
yes.
um, is really important because it helps us maintain perspective. And I don't just mean perspective in the sense of, oh, make yourself feel better by pointing out that somebody else has it worse. Like, oh, good, I went and,
Oh,
helped
that's
somebody
not
out and that reminded me
gratitude.
to be grateful. Say again?
I don't think that's gratitude when you compare yourself
Exactly.
to other people's pain.
Exactly. But some people have kind of this like tally sheet, right? Where it's like,
Yes.
oh, that helps me stay centered and remember that my stuff isn't so bad, which is not exactly gratitude, as you point out. Although it's very important to be helpful to other people. I think it helps us maintain perspective on wholeness, right? Going back to wholeness and what it means to be able to hold multiple experiences at one time and be able to engage in a state of gratitude, or we could even call it a state of grace in some ways,
Mhm.
while other things are not going well. And to be able to show ourselves that these things can coexist at the same time, because it's so easy to have this sense of all or nothing. Either I'm in a good time or I'm in a bad time.
Right.
Either things are going well or they're going badly. Yes. And that's crazy making, to be on that roller coaster of things are good, things are bad, things are good, things are bad. The truth is, if you widen the aperture far enough, usually you got a pretty good sampling of both, right?
Yes.
And we can go through times in our lives that are maybe a little calmer than others, right? Or a little more chaotic than others. We can go through times in our lives, certainly when it seems we have a run of things go terribly wrong, right? Or losses or deep griefs and pains that seem more concentrated than at other times. But again, it's all about widening the aperture. And the more we're able to, I think, look broadly at the world that we're in and our own lives, the more we're able to stay sort of centered and understand that most of this stuff is all the time if you widen the aperture far enough. And that helps us to not be so reactionary when things do go wrong.
Okay. It also sounds to me as if you're saying embody gratitude.
Yes,
Okay. Rather than just
absolutely.
put it on like a coat.
Absolutely.
Okay.
To embody gratitude, and I love that word, to show up in a state of gratitude might mean something different to different people, right? And again,
Hmm.
there might be different expressions of that. I think universally, whatever that expression means to someone, to show up in a state of gratitude is one of the most powerful things we can do, not just for ourselves, but for the people around us. It's
Hmm.
positively contagious. It's positively contagious in the best way possible, right? It's something we would like to spread at rapid rates if humanly possible.
Yeah, that's a great thing to infect other people with.
Yes, yes, yes. And it might be a little much to ask everybody all the time to have contagious joy or contagious happiness. I think
Yes,
those are maybe unrealistic, unpragmatic, and not necessary. But a state of gratitude, there's always something that
yes,
you can find, right? To be in a state of gratitude around.
yes, yes. I completely agree with you. Now, um, in the time we have left, can you tell us what you're grateful for? Just give us a couple of things.
Hmm. Oh my gosh, I wouldn't even know where to start. The list is so long. And one of the reasons I say that is because the aperture is so wide,
Hmm.
right? The aperture is so wide. And so I'm deeply grateful for the health of the people I know. I'm deeply grateful for, I'm going to get teary. I'm deeply grateful for the people that I don't know who are fighting so hard in this country right now to make
Hmm.
lives better for other people. I
Okay.
don't even know about them, and they're out there doing that. And
Yes.
I am so deeply grateful that people care about other people and they care about other people's lives and families and well being. And the way that I can pay that forward is not by finding those people individually and writing them postcards or sending them flowers or emailing them and telling them how much they're doing. They know they don't need me to co sign on that. What they need me to do is show up in gratitude and also be on the side of justice and also be on the side of care and concern and human kindness and compassion. So that is a way in which I want to show up in gratitude more so than articulate gratitude
Okay.
to people. I can best live in gratitude and live in a state of gratitude by continuing to act in a gracious way. Yes, as opposed to reaching out and specifically thanking people. I can continue their work in my own way by showing up in ways that are reflective of loving kindness and compassion and tolerance. That's how I can live in gratitude.
Oh my goodness. You are preaching to the choir because one of my pet peeves, as a therapist and as a human being, is that somebody's always waiting. Too many of us are waiting for somebody else to fix it and to
Mm,
do it.
yes,
And I believe individually, if we all did our own part, then
yes.
the collective would be so much healthier.
Amen.
So you're talking to me.
I'm so glad we could get together and talk about this. It's an amazing thing to talk about.
It is, and it goes beyond just, Thanksgiving and like you said, expressing thanks for those little things that are typical because the world needs more. It
Yes,
needs more depth. It needs more meaning, more purpose, more intention.
yes.
So thank you for sharing that.
My pleasure. I would also just add that I can't encourage people enough, myself included, to remember that I'm capable of creating conditions that I can be grateful for. I'm capable of creating that. I don't have to go find it. I don't
Yeah,
have to wait for somebody else to do something that I'm grateful for or a state of the universe, a solar
yes,
flare that makes something possible that I'm grateful for. You know, it's an interesting thought experiment when we think about the times in our lives where we felt really down, whatever that means. And if you are in and perhaps struggling to find something to feel grateful about or for, if you reach out to another human with kindness, you will be flooded with gratitude for the kindness you just created. You can
yes,
create those conditions. That person will be flooded with gratitude and you will be caught up in that gratitude feedback loop. So don't wait, right? To your point, don't
right.
wait for somebody else to do something when it comes to things you can be grateful for. That stuff isn't created by solar flares or planetary alignment. It's created by each of us showing up and acting on our values in ways that create conditions that we're then grateful for. In the same
Yes,
way that if you cooked your favorite meal, you would then be grateful that you had your favorite meal. You did that. You made that happen. Yay,
yes.
you. You don't have
Yes.
to wait for a chef to knock on your door and say, "Yay, I'm here to make you, chicken carbonara," or whatever the case may be.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, again, I really appreciate you making time for this, and I know this is a quick and dirty segment. Um, Tell us what programs you offer and how people can reach out to you if they want a consultation or to work with you.
Mm. So I work with adult individuals and couples in 9 states. You can find those states on my website at onwardpsychservices.com. That's onward, PSYCH, psychservices.com. I'm on Instagram at Onward Psych Services, where I create practical, tactical videos about coping skills that are a ton of fun. And I'll send you a couple links if you'd like. I love
Okay.
to share them with people because they're so much fun for me to make.
Okay.
So I'm available on Instagram. I have a phone number and I am always happy to pick up the phone. You know, those things make calls? Who knew? It turns out my phone number is 720-362-8164. People are welcome to call or text. And there's a contact me page as well as an email address on my website that folks are welcome to reach out to. I see adult individuals and couples. I also do keynote presentations and workshops for large conventions, small conventions, retreats, continuing education credits for professional groups.
Okay.
Work with a lot of attorneys, dentists, veterinarians, doctors, healthcare professionals, folks in very high stress fields. And I do
Okay.
those presentations mainly on practical tactical stress management, which is a really wonderful hands-on experience. I like people to leave with skills that they can immediately actionize to get
Okay.
what they need. Not a good
Okay.
idea, like take better care of yourself. Do this, and they're
Yes.
all 2 minutes or less. Because most
Okay.
of us, if we had 90 minutes to, go to yoga or take a walk or do the thing, we wouldn't have a problem anyway. Like it's
Okay.
time that
Awesome.
most of us are struggling with, not what we would like to be doing with it.
Right. Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you again. I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate it, your time and your
Oh, I
wisdom.
appreciate you. Thank you for such a lovely experience and such a thought-provoking, wonderful set of questions. It's been
Okay.
an
You're
absolute pleasure.
welcome. Thank you. Please help me welcome my guest, Zuma Williams, who is the swearing therapist. She likes to keep it real and swears a lot. Zuma is a breast cancer survivor, a motivational speaker, and founder of Dragonfly Therapy Services. Hi, Zuma.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me.
I am doing well. You are very welcome and welcome to the Glen Alex Show. Thank you for making time.
Absolutely.
Okay. And I do appreciate having you on for this special episode on gratitude. So, can you just tell us what gratitude means for you?
Absolutely. Gratitude means an appreciation for all the blessings that I have and also for the challenges that I don't have. So I work a lot with clients who have been in a car accident. So it is a blessing that I made it today and I didn't get involved in a car accident, right? And
Okay.
so to not lose sight of not only the blessings but the challenges that we don't have to confront on a daily basis.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense and actually puts um interesting spin on gratitude. Okay. Okay. So, why is expressing gratitude important?
I think that what we focus on grows. So by expressing our gratitude for our blessings, it opens up the door for more blessings to come. And I think, in my personal opinion, gratitude is a language that I use to communicate with God. So by appreciating and expressing my gratitude, I'm kind of like opening the door to continue to receive.
Okay. And in expressing gratitude, do you have the experience of being directly connected to God?
Absolutely. So it's like every night before I go to sleep, I keep a gratitude journal where I identify not only my health and like the regular things that we focus on, but also the everyday things like having my body, being able to see, being able to hear, to move my hands when I'm talking, and to walk, and all the things that we take for granted. Like a lot of times we are like, oh, my car, I don't like my car. Well, there are people who don't have a car, right? Like,
Right.
so to be appreciative of that. And I think that that opens up a direct line, if you would, of communicating with God.
Okay. Now, that's awesome. And what impact did your direct communication with God have on you surviving cancer?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So, um, at the beginning, when I was first diagnosed, I was like, why me? But then I changed it to why not me, right? Because I don't have children, but I have a mom and I have a sister and I have nieces. And I was like, if it was not me, would I have preferred that it was one of them? Of course not. So I was like talking to God all the time, and kind of like saying like, okay, well, you are putting me through this challenge. You will have to see me through. I cannot do it alone. So it was a constant conversation about like I cannot do this alone, and I need your help. So it was never about me. It was always to, okay, God, here it is. I'm doing my part, but we had to do this together, kind of thing. So
Okay.
God was fundamental in my recovery.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Now, you had said something in our previous conversation about cancer having you.
So I had cancer. Cancer didn't have me. So I take it as like I own the challenge. The challenge is not owning me. So
Okay.
if cancer had me, I will be a victim, but I'm not. So I always said like I had cancer. Cancer didn't have me, and that applies for any challenge that anybody is going through, because then we take charge of our lives instead of allowing the challenge to overpower our life, basically.
Yes. Yes. Now, do you have any suggestions for how someone can get started expressing gratitude or being grateful?
So I'll share how I do it by saying thank you a lot, and by saying I love you, and by cooking, like I cook for my friends, like that's another way of expressing my gratitude. But
Okay.
also in we I think that we need to learn how to receive. When we are givers, it's so hard to receive. Oh, no, you shouldn't have done that. And
Yes.
receiving with the same grace that we are giving is so important. So if I give you a compliment, oh, thank you, and just leave it at that, right? Oh, I like your blouse. Oh, I bought it at Ross. I didn't ask you where you bought it. Just say
Right.
thank you and leave it at that, right? Like, I love your hair, or oh, I didn't even done anything to it. Thank you. And it's one of the hardest things to do, to say thank you and just leave it at that.
Yes.
So my suggestion is for people to start practicing thank you, and that's it. Now, if I say, you say, oh, I love your blouse, and I say thank you, and you ask me, where did you get it? Then I'll
Yes.
share the information. But not offering it, kind of like trying to dismiss, oh, it's not. No,
Yes,
no, no.
exactly.
Thank you. Just take it. We feel so uncomfortable because we are givers, right? So it's like, oh, when I give to you, I'm fine. When I had to receive, it's a problem. So start practicing saying thank you and leaving it at that and deal with the uncomfortable feeling. Eventually it's going to become more comfortable. And you are not depriving the other person of the feel good feeling that we have when we are giving.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, what kind of work do you do with clients?
I am a licensed clinical social worker. I'm a mental health therapist, like you are, and I specialize in trauma, anxiety, and depression. So I
Okay.
work with adults. I used to work with children. I don't do that anymore, but I do work with adults who experience those kind of issues, and I help them discover their own answers. Like I'm not. What do I do? I don't know. I don't really know what to do with my own life, let alone tell you what to do with yours. So I help provide a different perspective so that you can find your own answers.
Okay. Okay. And do you do in person and virtual, or
Both. I
you
do
do
both.
both?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Do you have any special programs or offerings coming up?
No, not at this moment.
Okay. Okay. Well, then how can someone reach out to you if they want a consultation or to work with you?
Absolutely. My website is dragonflytherapyservices.net, or they can check my Instagram at the swearing therapist. I offer a lot of uh, free suggestions about how to deal with anxiety, and I keep it fun. I swear a lot. That's why I'm the swearing therapist. But if clients are okay with me swearing, then I'm the girl for you. Like, and if I'm not a good fit, I will. We're gonna determine that together, and I will offer referrals. So it just doesn't need to be me, the one that they are
Okay.
end up working with. Like, if they're in Nevada, then reach out to me, and we can either work together, or I give suggestions of what I think is going to be a good fit.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Now, can you just sum gratitude up in one nugget? What's the one takeaway you want the audience to have?
If you woke up today, that means that your mission on earth is not complete. So be grateful for that and
Okay.
keep doing what you're doing.
Okay. Okay. I love it. Thank you
Thank
so much
you.
for making time to be here. And please keep up the good work and take care of yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of The Glen Alex Show. We really hope that you learned how gratitude can enhance your mental and overall health and improve your life in general. So please like, subscribe, and share this episode.
Refresh your spirit with a nourishing thought.
Please allow me to leave you with this nourishing thought. John F. Kennedy said, as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. Gratitude has helped me through some rough times, the death of my twins, severe depression, and other painful experiences. My mental health and resilience are strengthened by gratitude because when I am grateful, the depth of my appreciation for life and for what I already have is heightened. Living in gratitude leaves no room for regret, for longing, for envy, or for fear. And I express my gratitude every morning before meditating. I do encourage you to enhance your mental and overall health with gratitude as well. You can simply start with making a list of everything you're grateful for: being alive, your family, your home, your job, your passions, your lifestyle, your health, your talents, your gifts. Yeah, there's a lot to be grateful for. Then create a consistent way to express your gratitude. Some express gratitude during meditation. Others will use a gratitude journal. And then, as JFK said, live in gratitude. That means adopt a posture of being grateful in your daily existence. Follow those tips and see how living in gratitude elevates and enhances your life. To learn more about gratitude and total health, visit glenalex.com, order your copy of my 3-time award-winning book, Living in Total Health, read my blogs, and book your complimentary consultation with me. Then tune in to the next episode of The Glen Alex Show. And until next time, be well.